on guys, Kelvin here and welcome to 320Tech. In today's video, I'm going to show you guys my review of the iPhone XS Max. So I've had the phone for over 2 years now, ever since it was initially released, and everything that I say within this video will apply to both the XS and the XS Max unless I say otherwise. The iPhone XS Max is IP68 water resistant, whereas the iPhone X Plus is IP67 water resistant. What this means is in a half an hour time frame, the IP67 device is able to last up to 1 meter, whereas the IP68 device is able to last up to 1.5 meters. Wow! The iPhone XS Max has a 7nm 6-core A12 Bionic chip and 4 gigs of RAM in both phones, so it's not like one phone has more RAM than the other. What this translates to is 15 to 30% faster performance when compared to the iPhone X Plus in terms of opening apps, opening the keyboard and launching the camera. Face ID is also up to 25% faster than the iPhone X Plus thanks to the A12 Bionic chip and iOS 13. Obviously, Face ID will be slower than phones like OnePlus and Xiaomi with their RGB cameras, and that's because Face ID is more secure. There's this form of inverse relationship that shows that the more secure something is, the longer that it takes to actually make it work, and vice versa. If you are somebody who heavily relies on a fingerprint scanner, perhaps this phone isn't for you. I personally have really sweaty hands, so this phone is perfect for me. Another really great feature are the new speakers. They're a lot louder, a lot clearer, and they now feature stereo speakers. What this means is the earpiece is now a tweeter and the bottom speakers is now a woofer. The reason why this is such a big deal is because the speakers are involved in every single aspect of how the phone is used, whether it be playing games, watching videos, or speaking to a friend. Now the speakers will give you a much more enriching experience when compared to the previous phones. The battery on the iPhone XS Max gives me about 4.5 to 5 hours of screen on time, and as always with all iPhones, the standby on this phone is great. I think maybe I lose maybe 3 to 4% of battery overnight without charging, which I think is amazing. I think the only real downside about this phone's battery is how long it takes to charge. I think charging from 0 to 100 takes maybe an hour and a half, and that's because Apple still ships this phone with a 5-watt charger. Next up is probably one of the most hyped up features about this phone, besides the specs, and that's the camera. The iPhone XS and XS Max share the exact same camera. They have slightly larger used sensors, still 12 megapixels. The main camera has a 1.8 aperture, both are optically stabilized and also include a quad LED flash. It has A+ colors, A+ dynamic range, photos are corner to corner sharp, and low light photography is pretty damn good too. This camera is very similar to the one they have in the iPhone 11 and 11 Pro, albeit it does not have night mode. However, I've seen some side-by-side comparisons and they essentially look identical. It's still one of the best phone cameras you can find in today's market. It shoots 4K 60 frames per second, plus they've added stereo audio recording to support the speakers. Ultimately, everything adds up to be a very powerful camera, as we've come to expect from an iPhone. So that's where we're at. Great specs, great camera, great software, and great design. But this entire review is based on the iPhone XS Max and not the XS, and let me tell you why. If you think about it, buying an iPhone XS Max is better than buying something like an iPhone 11 for a few reasons. The 6.5-inch display of the iPhone XS Max just makes for a better overall experience when compared to the smaller 5.8-inch display of the iPhone 11. Watching videos is better, gaming is definitely better, you have a much improved viewing experience and significantly longer battery life. I've always been a big phone kind of person. Maybe that's because my hands are slightly larger than the average person, but my point still stands. The larger phone definitely makes for a larger improvement. As for the iPhone 11 Pro, the answer is simple. If you can afford it, then buy it. Thank you so much for watching my iPhone XS Max review. It might not seem like it, but I put a lot of time, effort, and dedication into improving every single video that I put here on YouTube. And it means the world to me that you guys are able to help support me on my journey here on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.